All right, we're gonna watch another one of those. Not every, not PvP isn't for everybody kind of video. This one's from Loud Guns. I'm really trying to get the perspectives of people out there, and then maybe even reading the comments under the video and just seeing how people feel. Because I feel very strongly about the specific topic that Pyro is awesome. They're not doing commodities the best just yet. Lushbits, thank you for your prime. They're not doing commodities as good as I'd like to see them yet. I would love to see stuff, more sensible things going from Stanton to Pyro and Pyro to Stanton. For now, it's a little bit weird. And yeah, I see his entry saying in chat it's an illusion. That's exactly what it is. They're kind of just making it up, it feels like, for right now, because it's not us that's doing it. And for sure, the cargo mission payouts just make no sense and things like that. So it's a little bit weird. But long intro to this. This is Loud Guns, and it's titled "Not Everything Is for Everyone." PvP versus PvE in Star Citizen. And this isn't just about PvP and PvE. This is about the beginning of the title. Not everything is for you, and that's okay, right? That's okay.
Hello, and welcome back or welcome to the channel. I'm Loud Guns, and today I'm going to stick my head above the parapets and hop into the annual PvP versus PvE drama.
It's not annual anymore, it's like all the time.
According to the rumour mill, it's going to go live tomorrow, but the rumour mill has been saying tomorrow for the past week, so I'd take that with a pinch of salt and just stick with soon TM.
Okay, so this is a bit of an older video.
Launch and accompanying wipe, we've got some spicy changes to what components will be available in shops, with all of the highest spec military and stealth components no longer appearing for sale. Instead, alongside a bunch of other cool loot, these are only going to be available as rewards for the new contested zones.
Yes.
A PvP versus E combat loop based within the pyro stations themselves. Essentially has extraction shooter vibes.
Yes, very much so.
This has not gone down particularly well with some parts of the community, but in this vid...
Because they're ignorant. Not because they're right or wrong. I actually think they're right, but they're so ignorant that they don't realize that those components that are in there aren't even that good.
I kind of want to just put my thoughts together and how I think it's actually...
Or maybe I'm the ignorant one. But I don't think they're that much better than the grade B components.
A good thing for the entire community and the game more generally. And I think it comes back to something my friend Space Tomato said a while ago. For the game to be successful, there's got to be elements of it that you don't personally like.
Yeah.
So if this sounds good to you, grab a cup of tea while I roll the intro, then let's get into it.
That's a really good point. Not Space Tomato, based tomato, yeah. Some people don't care about the difference. It's the I can't or not available to me people. Yep, and they're the ignorant ones and the ones that I have no time for or energy for.
Now I completely understand why people might be a little concerned about these changes. I do just think that both ends of the PvE, PvP spectrum get a little knee-jerky around instances like this, particularly over on Spectrum itself. But the key issue boils down to gating. Certain content being locked behind certain gameplay. If you don't like that gameplay, or you just suck at it for whatever reason, then it can be annoying that you can't access all the content the game has to offer.
Do you know what's sad? I love it, and I just suck at it. Like, I tried to zero to hero contested zones a lot, and I suck so bad that I couldn't, like, 1v2 people. I couldn't 1v3 people. So I essentially went, like, all right, this might not be for me. It might not work out for me. And, like, I like the idea of going in with a big group, but it always feels a little bit less exciting when you zerg 2 people with 5 people and you kill them and you're like, oh yeah, like we clapped those guys, and it's like, did you? So I've honestly strayed away from the contested zones a little bit of late, and like I did them during the PTU. I really enjoyed the puzzle of it and the the like, ooh, this is how this works, and look for the green spray paint and everything. And then now I find myself engaging in the economy way more in the game and figuring out how that's all working. And I'm finding so much more excitement in that. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not participating in it. I feel like I have another thing I get to do when I'm bored with what I'm doing now.
I mean, I'm under no illusion as to my personal level of PvP skill. We had our birthday party this weekend, and during the FPS events, I got shot in the head far more times than my from the hip R97 trick worked. But where this, to my mind at least, becomes a non-issue is when you consider that Star Citizen isn't a single-player game. It's an MMO.
Yep.
Now don't worry, this is not me saying screw you solo players. The point I'm making is that whether you choose to play in groups or solo, you inhabit a world with lots of other players who you can interact with. I find it quite annoying when I see some people respond to players who say they like to play solo with, well, go and play a single player game. There's plenty of reasons to play an MMO solo.
I often go and say play a single player game to people who request the game to revolve around them as solo players. You have to coexist. These people that do not want to coexist are the antithesis of an MMO. Therefore, go play Elite Dangerous, right? Which is like a single player MMO. Like, go do that.
Personally, have enjoyed doing it in the past. But if solo to you...
And Elite's looking like it's getting pretty awesome
means never
in the coming year as well.
Another human being, then that is a bit of a different story, and single-player games might actually be the way forward. In my opinion, games with as much variety of gameplay as SC has actually thrive by gating various content behind different loops, because this nudges you as a player to approach things in one of a number of ways.
Yeah.
First,
I can make all my money doing X, or I can make it doing Y. Right?
You could always expand your horizons. Maybe you suck at PvP, but if you practiced, you would empirically get better. And what's better than being good? Being lucky. Get to Pyro, set your spawn, buy some gear, and go at it. 9 times out of 10, you might get your backside handed to you, but the dopamine rush of that one time you get lucky or good might make up for it.
And he doesn't know this at this time because this video came up before it went live, but like you don't even get to get lucky right now, which is another reason why I'm not going to contested zones as much. If I can't loot the body of the person I kill, I don't care to kill them. It's everything to me to be able to open that backpack, watch the circle go, it open up, and then see what's inside and go, oh my god, he's got all the keys, or oh, look at all this ammo I can take for myself, right? And yeah. Why are you drinking out of that huge jug? You must not be from America. In America, we drink out of mason jars. So this is water, and what's crazy, look at how deep red this is. This is a tiny bit of cherry juice. Like this much. Doop. Just to flavor it a little bit.
I've personally not been playing too much of the 4.0 PTU because I, a bit selfishly, want the new patch to be fresh for as long as possible. I hopped on in to go and get some B-roll for this video, and honestly, I found the Ghost Arena at Ruined Station to be so much fun.
It is. It's so
There's
fun.
There's a proper rush when you get into a gunfight. The random rabid copions are mildly terrifying, and at the end of the day, it's super low risk. All you can really lose is a...
It's not that low risk. If you go in with your own armor and you're constantly buying armor, weapons, and ammo, the risk actually gets kind of high. So I like to go in naked or in an undersuit, loot some NPCs, and hope to go. But if you run into teams of 2 or 3, when you're doing that, it gets to be actually incredibly difficult because they'll be coming in with FS9s, you'll be going at them with F55s, and there's a little bit of disparity in the weapons there, right? So I've been scav running, yeah, exactly, and the last time I did it, I did like 6 in a row and just ran into a group of 3 that were just, I could kill 2, but I couldn't get the last one, and then I'm just toast, right? So I'm trying to get in there and do it, but I've been really struggling. I'm just not good enough yet.
Set of armor and a gun. Then you just quickly respawn at the station and head right back in to seek your revenge on whoever capped you. And as you commit more time to it, you'll get better. You might even find yourself enjoying it. Nobody likes going to the gym the first time after Christmas, but you go, you lift, you run, it gets easier, you see results, and
Do you? I mean, I haven't been to the gym since I was a sophomore in college, Loud Guns. What's going on here? I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Gym? What's a gym, Chad?
you end up loving it. Everybody wants these muscles, but ain't nobody want to lift these heavy weights. Second, you can always get some backup. If you're going into these contested zones and 10 out of 10 times you're getting nowhere because you get outnumbered, then go get some.
He even knows that he shouldn't have lived. How did he live? What was that guy shooting at? Oh my God, I need to watch this again. What was this person even shooting at? Was that me?
You want to lift these heavy weights. Second, you can always get some backup. If you're going into these contested zones,
Is that F-55?
and 10 out of 10 times you're getting nowhere.
Yep. He's trying to, this guy doesn't know how to control the F-55. It's really hard sometimes. So that's what I mean. FS9 versus F-55, you're just more accurate with the FS9.
Because you get outnumbered, then go get some numbers yourself.
That's wild.
Quite regularly, when I see people say that they don't want to join an org,
It
it's
did look
because of the
decenty
hassle,
as well.
having to defer to others, and the added hurdles of getting parties together. Trust me, I know on this one, one of my New Year's resolutions is to get the words, if you need an invite, add Loud Guns as a friend, and make sure you're in menus ready to launch, added to our Discord soundboard. But bluntly, there are a lot of positives that far outweigh the negatives. Completely omitting the huge benefits
What's your thoughts on Tweaker mods being in Stanton loot? If they are not mega rare, I hate it.
of globe-spanning relationships, camaraderie and shenanigans, and reducing it to the cold hard maths of gaming, more guns equals better. I've been open about my own deficiencies as a one-on-one PvEper, but the more people you can successfully coordinate to work together, the less individual skill matters.
Oh, AI.
And coordination and teamwork are completely distinct skills from your ability to perfectly place the crosshair on someone else's
Loud's not wrong
head.
with his critiques of himself.
And third, you can take what I like to call the Mr. Muscle approach. Find someone who loves the jobs you hate. If that reference didn't land, then you probably weren't a British kid in the 90s.
Me and Loud are very similar. I love the jobs other people like. When even in Eve, I keep telling people that, like, hey, I want to salvage stuff and then turn it into rigs and do this stuff. And the advice everyone gives me is do something else. There's so many, but you could make more money doing. I don't want to make more money. I don't care. I want to enjoy myself, and I enjoy myself doing this. And they don't get it. Oh, just Scorched, no tweakers?
This is going
then
to be
it's
the
fine.
way forward for
Scorched
many
isn't
people
that
in
good.
Star Citizen as the game progresses. The core issue in this instance is that Grade A military and stealth components are not just the best loadouts for PvP fighters. They're also the best loadouts for prospectors and for vultures. So if you have literally...
But that's not a contested zone problem. That's not a PvP problem. That is a CIG problem, right? Like, I should not be able to turn on my salvage lasers or turn on my mining lasers without having an industrial power plant, coolers, and then the shields are a whole nother story, right? We could figure something out that makes sense on that sense. But, like, shouldn't you be power limited on an industrial ship with stealth components? You know? And we're just not, which is dumb. So I think we'll get there, but we're not there yet. I think they focused on a couple avenues and tried to get them right in those avenues, and now they need to get the other avenues correct, and they haven't yet.
Zero interest in PvP, and simply don't want to spend your, for most of us, quite limited game time, engaging in this area, then that is 100% fine.
But you can buy the B-grade components, and please, guys, go to Urkel and look at the difference between A and B-grade stealth, and it's not that vast. So just go buy the B-grade components and stop crying about it, because you're crying before you're actually doing your research, right? You're crying before you're actually understanding the game. And if you spent less time crying on Spectrum and actually learning the game, you would be a hell of a lot happier, right? It's hilarious because people say that shit to me all the time, but even I know this, right? The guy who never plays the game. Well, you know, the same people crying on Spectrum about not being able to do these things or crying in my comments about not being able to do them haven't done the research to recognize that those components are not that much better than ones you can buy in game. Done. Just buy them in game. It's no big deal.
But either via an org or via trade, look to exchange goods and services with others who have what you want and want what you have.
Yep. And with the current state of the game, the fact that they can trade you a component and not lose that component because you could just dupe them. So the current state of the game, you can absolutely clack your keyboard in the in-game chat and say, hey, I am buying grade A military components for this price. Anyone want to give me them? And everybody would say yes because it's free money. They don't even lose anything. So you're going to be able to do it.
Right now in game, that's not as easy as it could be. And if we had some form of player trade system where we could list goods...
It's obviously not easy, and it's there's no marketplace and things like that, right? But it actually is easy because you never lose anything. So people might be more willing to do it than they are when there is a market, is what I'm saying.
Goods for sale or purchase, that would be great, but we don't. And the fact that it's not as easy as it could be is not the same as impossible.
Yep.
Items can be traded between players. You party up, you meet up in a hangar, the seller brings the stuff up on an elevator, and the buyer sends
So that NPC was shooting at a player over there.
that same elevator down.
That's a player
not perfect,
that he just killed.
And there's clearly risks involved for both parties with no escrow system and bugs, but it is possible. And the reason I said in the beginning that I think this is good for the whole community and the game more generally is that it encourages this symbiotic relationship between people who appreciate different aspects of a diverse game. Going into 4.0, it's going to be a pretty two-dimensional trade dynamic. PvPers have the good components, but realistically, more industrially minded PvEers will be more cash-rich.
Yeah.
So it will likely be a goods for credits deal. But in the future, with
except there's an exploit to make cash, and it sucks, man.
crafting, it'll likely evolve as we see blueprints.
I actually forgot about this. There is a major exploit in the game.
Rather than ready-made goods as rewards. That's when we start to see the economy evolve with demand for resources that can only be filled by the dedicated industrialists. And I guess while I have been speaking more to the PvE-minded folks in this video...
Yeah, economy's fucked already, money-wise.
Where I would turn my attention to the PvPers.
Player!
Because some might say, well, why would I want to trade? I don't need so much cash, so why would I just want to help these people out? Well, you might not explicitly need their AUEC now, but it sure might help to know some really good miners, salvagers, explorers, racers, medics, etc. further down the line.
Is the preview channel going to get wiped? I don't believe so, but there's a possibility now with this oversight, and I definitely think it's an oversight.
Looking at the 1.0 presentation, it's pretty clear that this element of gating is just one tiny step in the direction that CIG are going down.
Yeah, but the thing is that there needs to be gating in each one of these trees, right? Like, what I gained from going down this tree might be somewhat similar to what I gained from going down some of the other ones, but there does have to be something decent. I'm not going to say what oversight happened. I'm not going to share the exploit with anybody other than CIG because I'm not a jerk. But the idea of going down these paths are, and if you write it in the comments of the YouTube video, I'm going to delete that comment as well. But so I think, you know, some special racing suit going down the racing driver, or you know, I don't know, tweaker components working with the council, or some cool mercenary stuff, or industrial things for doing the Interstellar Transport Guild. Like, all these things should have their own special rewards that make it worth it to go down these tracks, right? I don't understand why we wouldn't do it this way. So the fact that there's some unique reward for PvP is totally normal.
Each of the guild progressions is going to have content locked behind it. Blueprints, gear drops, components, etc. MMOs are social games. They're about working together as much as, if not more than, working against one another.
Yep.
In the future, it'll probably be good to have made friends now with people who might have more to bring to the table.
Yep.
Finally, and quite selfishly, I think this is awesome because it adds purpose to diversified organisations. Since starting an org 4 years ago, I've always been adamant that we should have balance and encourage people of all stripes to sign up and work together. Not everything in SC should be for everyone. If you can get a group together with varied interests and give them common purpose, you can build something ultimately stronger than the sum of its parts. And I like that the changes encourage people who are part of an org like ours to go out and spend their time doing the gameplay that they love, while being able to contribute to one another's success.
Most important
On
part,
day 1
I think.
of 4.0, our combat wings are going to be heading into Pyro's contested zones. Our industrialists are going to make sure that they're sent off with enough startup cash, and our Logi crews are going to be there to make sure that they get resupplied when they need it. But then if things go well, it will come full circle, and we'll be bringing good components back out of Pyro to fit our industrial fleet with. If as the game evolves, you're starting to think about joining an org, then please do feel free to pop into our Discord via the link in the video description down below.
Dude, his
There's no
org's
pressure
legit.
to sign up, and we do a lot of events that let people just get a taste of what multiplayer experiences are like. So I think I'll wrap this up there. I hope you found the vid interesting, and if you think I've earned it, then please do consider dropping a like and hitting subscribe. And let me know down in the comments what you think of the changes.
I think they're great.
With all that said, I just want to say thank you for watching to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
I love Loud Guns. If you guys don't know Loud Guns, let me link the video to you. He's just a genuinely good dude. We share very similar interests, and he just gets it. He just gets it to me. Very few bad takes, or ever, actually. I don't think I've ever watched a Loud Guns video where he just had a bad one. Like, just a good guy. He's a gamer. He's got an awesome org, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just good dude, and you should definitely show him some love. Hit subscribe on his video. Make sure you like that video if you liked it, and show him some love because he deserves it.